In movies, the hero always wins. But in real life, the smart villain walks away with everything, while the hero is left with nothing but moral glory, if even that. Now, this might sound cynical, but stick with me till the end. Because this story goes much deeper than you think. Because this is a story we've all heard before. When I was young, I thought the world was a movie set. There were good guys and bad guys, and ultimately good would triumph. So I played by the rules, did my best, and tried to help as many people as possible. But somewhere along the way, I realized something was wrong. It wasn't that people weren't rewarded for doing good things. It's just that sometimes the people who did bad things got rewarded more. As I looked around, I saw two types of people. On one side were the naive heroes, the ones who believed the world was fair and played by the rules. And on the other side were the smart villains, who knew how to bend the rules to their favor. And over time, I noticed that the villains won more often. So let's start at the beginning. Who is the naive hero? This is the person who believes the world is fair, plays by the rules, and fundamentally believes that if you do good things will happen to you. They work hard, play by the official rules, and believe that effort alone will be rewarded. They think the system will protect them and their interests, and so they put their heads down and try to do their best within the system. But eventually, they hit a ceiling because there are limits to being a nice guy. You can't get ahead if you refuse to do certain things or fight for your own interests. Think about the guy who works for a company for 10 years. He puts his head down and tries to make the company as much money as possible. He gets good performance reviews, wins Employee of the Month, and does everything right. But one day he gets laid off. On the surface, it seems unfair. He worked so hard and did everything right, yet he still lost. But what if I told you that the company didn't fire him by accident? What if someone else at the company wanted him gone? You see, there was an executive at that company who also worked there for 10 years. He had his own team and managed millions of dollars every year. He wasn't nearly as talented as our employee, but he was great at politics. He gave compliments to the boss when he needed something, kept the boss informed of any issues, and always made himself indispensable. So even though he wasn't bringing in as much money, the boss trusted him more. When the layoffs came, he quietly pushed our employee into the firing line and saved himself. Now, from a purely technical perspective, our employee still did a great job. But that didn't matter because the boss trusted the politics of the villain more than the effort of the hero. That's the biggest problem with the naive hero. They assume everyone thinks like them and they underestimate human nature. So when they get betrayed or backstabbed, they're completely caught off guard. Now, what about the villain, who is the smart villain? Smart villains don't reject morality, but they treat it as a tool to gain trust and influence. Then they bend it whenever it's convenient. Smart villains are extremely aware of the weakness in others and know how to manipulate them. They also master timing. They know when to act and when to wait. They build networks of people who owe them favors. They gather intelligence on others and they learn how to use that intelligence against them. They build influence and hidden leverage. And the reason why villains win so often is because they think like chess players. They're constantly moving pieces around the board and thinking 5 moves ahead. They want victory, but they're willing to wait years or decades to get it. So let's take our politician example. Imagine a well-dressed man giving money to charity. From the outside, it looks like a selfless act. But what if I told you that he was using that very same money to buy political favors later? Every dollar he spent on charity was one less dollar the voters would see him spending on bribes. Every event he hosted was a chance to meet potential donors. And every photo opportunity was a chance to build a network of influence. So sure, he was helping some people, but he was also helping himself. That's why the smart villain always seems to win. They play the long game. The hero wants victory now. The villain is happy to wait years to outmaneuver their opponent. Villains aren't evil. They just know how to play the game better than most people. They don't have a moral center. They're not bound by a code of ethics, and they don't care about legacy. Villains win because they focus on what works, not what's right. They may be willing to do whatever it takes to win. But how can you become a strategic hero? How can you beat the villain at their own game? Well, first, keep your morality as your compass, but use strategy as your weapon. Don't expect fairness to save you. The world doesn't reward effort or intentions. It rewards results. There are no participation trophies in business or politics. If you're not adapting and getting results, someone else will. So learn how to fish. Don't just wait for someone to throw you a fish. Learn influence, negotiation, and the art of timing. These are all skills you can learn. The villain already knows how to wield them, but you can too. Here's the harsh truth. Morality without strategy is a lamb among wolves. Wolves look after their own. they're willing to do whatever it takes to win. So if you want to survive in the wild, you need to fight fire with fire. Now, before I share the next part of this story, let me leave you with a question. When someone treats you unfairly, do you fight back or do you accept the loss? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now back to the story. The smart villain and the naive hero are both playing the same game. The difference is one studies the board, the other trusts the rules. And in a world where the rules are written by the winners, which one will you be? Now, I could end the story here, but it wouldn't be fair because you deserve an ending that fits the story. So here's a twist. After thinking about this story for years, I realized there's a third piece to the puzzle. There's a third player in the game. Imagine a chessboard again. This time, the White King is surrounded on all sides. The smart villain has outmaneuvered the naive hero, and it looks like the hero is about to lose. But then something unexpected happens. The hero makes one clever move and suddenly the game changes. It turns out the hero was holding a queen the entire time. The hero and the villain were so focused on each other that neither of them noticed the queen hiding behind the pawn shop. The lesson here is simple. Just because the villain is winning doesn't mean they've won. Your best opportunities often come when no one is paying attention. Sometimes the hero gets overlooked because they're busy fighting the villain. In fact, this is how every single superpower has been won. Take Steve Jobs, for example. While everyone was focused on Microsoft, Jobs was building the Mac and then Apple's next big thing. Or consider Netflix. While everyone was focused on Blockbuster, Reed Hastings was building a movie streaming service. Even countries have done this. While the US and NATO were focused on the Soviet Union, China was building its economy and stock market. In the next video, I'll show you how to find and capitalize on these golden opportunities. Specifically, I'll reveal how to turn morality into a weapon and beat the villain at their own game. It's the fourth and final video in the series, and it's easily the most important. Make sure to click the notification bell so you don't miss out. So the next time someone treats you unfairly, ask yourself this question. Are you a pawn, a knight, or the queen? Are you stuck in a losing battle, or is there a bigger opportunity hiding nearby? Because in the game of life, the biggest opportunities often come when no one is paying attention. And if you can find and capitalize on those opportunities, you can win the game. If you enjoyed this video, check out the last episode in the series, where I'll reveal how to turn morality into a weapon.